Hoffman entered a quiet restaurant, his face bruised and his eyes red with exhaustion. Moments later, McVie arrived, the powerful head of a pharmaceutical company called Optimo. Hoffman had once worked there, but now he carried evidence of the company's crimes. Inside, Hoffman handed McVie a document detailing Optimo's illegal activities. Before releasing it, he warned that copies had already been given to his trustee. If anything happened to him, those copies would reach law enforcement and the media. As a final formality, Hoffman asked McVie to take a photo with him before they left. After stepping outside, Hoffman noticed someone following him. The man was Ash, a shadowy figure who trailed him to the train station. Yet Ash was not an enemy. He had been hired to protect Hoffman. Once Hoffman boarded the train safely, Ash returned to his hidden warehouse and locked a copy of the Optimo files inside his vault. Ash received a large payment from Hoffman, money taken from the same company that had betrayed him. Elsewhere, a woman named Sarah Grant arrived at a legal firm, hoping for help. Sitting across from the firm's director, Morel, Sarah explained her situation. She had once been a researcher at a biotechnology company developing genetically modified seeds. During her work, she discovered documents showing severe side effects linked to those seeds. When she reported the issue, her superiors ignored her, and 2 months later she was fired. Since then, the company had accused her of theft and subjected her to harassment. Sarah wanted legal protection so she could return the documents and stop the intimidation. Morel, however, declined to take her case. Instead, he handed her a contact number, suggesting someone else might be willing to help. When Sarah returned home, she found her car burned. Fearing for her safety, she decided to move to a new apartment. That night, she recorded a voice message and sent it to the number Morel had given her. The message reached Ash. From it, he learned that Sarah had once worked for a biotech firm called suspenseful and possessed documents proving their seed innovation caused harm. She had tried to expose the truth but backed down after receiving threats. To verify her story, Ash reviewed Sarah Grant's background and confirmed she was a legitimate researcher. Convinced of her credibility, he agreed to help. Because of his hearing impairment, Ash used Relay, a service that converted his typed messages to speech and returned her spoken replies as text, keeping their communication secure and direct without voice contact. Their first connection was silent, but it would set everything in motion. This is Relay. Sarah repeats her account with more detail. She took internal documents that showed irregular data on the side effects of her company's seed project. She reported the findings to her boss, then lost her job without warning. The company kept producing the seeds and promoted them to farmers in developing countries. She outlines the risk. The seeds could trigger severe allergic reactions in limited cases and cancer across larger populations. She planned to go public, yet pressure from the company escalated. The previous night, her car burned. She also believes a van outside her apartment is watching her. Ash responds with immediate precautions. He tells Sarah to buy a disposable phone for all future contact. His suspicion proves correct. Inside the van, 4 operatives, Ryan, Rosette, Lee, and their leader Dawson, intercept her relay traffic. They trace the call to the relay center. Dawson and Rosette go there to extract more data, but a staff member blocks them and cites the law that protects the content of relayed calls.
Well, even with a warrant, there'd be nothing for you to search. We don't keep records of our logs, where they're coming from or where they're going to.
The next day, Sarah updates Ash. Cementis is close to a $3.2 billion USD acquisition. Public release of her documents would end the deal. She expects the company to move against her. Ash accelerates his plan. Using Relay again, he commits to help her return the documents safely. He provides a shared code phrase for all future messages to prevent spoofing.
Please follow all instructions, no matter how odd.
We will say credit or debit. You will say check.
Understood?
Understood.
Soon after, Sarah receives a package with clear instructions. She must place the documents in a brown envelope and add 50,000 USD in cash as a security deposit. The money will be returned after a successful negotiation between both sides. As she prepares the envelope, Ash messages again with a change of plan. She must take 2 flights the next morning, first to Pittsburgh, then to Atlanta, and bring the sealed envelope with her. The next morning, Sarah arrives at the airport for her flight to Pittsburgh. She is unaware that Dawson and his team are already there, watching her every move. Among the passengers, Ash keeps a quiet distance, monitoring the situation.
Hello.
This is a pre-boarding announcement for Flight 8917 to Atlanta.
When Sarah lands in Pittsburgh to catch her connecting flight to Atlanta, Ash realizes she has been followed since the start. To counter the threat, he sets a plan in motion to confuse the pursuers.
Hello.
I found this bag up by gate B17.
Happens all the time.
It says Sarah Grant on it.
Passenger Sarah Grant, lost property counter.
Check it out.
The tactic works, forcing Dawson to split from Rosette. Once Dawson is isolated, Ash instructs Sarah to send the documents through the airport post office. Moments later, Dawson recognizes the setup and rushes back to regroup with Rosette. The maneuver allows Ash to identify Dawson, Lee, and Ryan as the agents responsible for tailing Sarah. At the post office, Sarah sends 2 envelopes. One is a decoy, the other carries the real documents and the money. After mailing them, she discards the tracking number. Rosette retrieves it, believing she can trace the package. What she does not realize is that Ash already has her identified. When the team returns to their headquarters, they understand how effectively Ash manipulated the situation. Later, Sarah confirms that the delivery was successful. Ash prepares to negotiate with Cybo Cementis, planning for Sarah to return the documents directly to her former superior, similar to Hoffman's earlier exchange. To protect her, he keeps a copy of the documents in case the company attempts retaliation. The following day, Ash visits the post office to collect the package Sarah sent. After reviewing the contents, he plants a phone inside the surveillance van used by Dawson's team. When Dawson discovers the phone, Ash forces communication through it, demanding they contact Franklin, the head of Cybo Cementis. Dawson states that Franklin has authorized him to represent the company. Ash then issues his terms. The surveillance on Sarah must stop, or the documents will go to law enforcement and the press. Once her safety is secured, Ash will return the originals but retain a copy as insurance. As part of the deal, he requires a 500,000 USD payment from Cybo Cementis. Dawson accepts the offer and withdraws, ending the pursuit of Sarah. The following day, Ash meets his friend Wash, a police detective, at a small restaurant. During the conversation, Ash admits that he is a recovering alcoholic and claims to work as a courier to conceal his true occupation. Wash senses that Ash is hiding something and advises him not to carry the burden alone. After the meeting, Ash returns to his hidden warehouse. He places the Cybo Cementis documents in his vault beside the Optimo file. Meanwhile, Dawson arranges to send the 500,000 USD ransom to Ash, but hides a tracking device inside the briefcase. The next day, Ash sends a copy of the Cybo Cementis documents to Dawson's team as agreed. Later, in his apartment, Ash receives a voice message from Hoffman, the client he once protected. Hoffman expresses guilt for staying silent about Optimo's crimes, which have since harmed many people. One night, Ash grows uneasy when Sarah fails to contact him. Concerned, he calls her directly. She responds briefly, assuring him that everything is fine.
Has it ever gone wrong?
Instructions, not everybody.
I'll try hard to behave myself. Good night.
There's a new number, run it. Nice. It's already off.
A few days later, Dawson reaches out to confirm that the documents have been received. He reports that several pages are missing and urges Ash to locate them quickly as the company's acquisition is about to finalize. Realizing the urgency, Ash contacts Sarah. She admits that she withheld some pages, believing they were unrelated to the research. Ash instructs her to send them immediately. Soon after, Ash goes undercover and travels to downtown Washington. He tells Sarah to place the missing pages under a stack of newspapers at a public spot. Unbeknownst to them, Dawson and his team are nearby, secretly observing through a camera.
Thank you. Yeah, no problem.
Hey, how's it going?
When Ash retrieves the package, he accidentally takes the wrong set of papers due to Sarah's poor placement. Reacting quickly, he pays a nearby homeless woman to collect the correct envelope. Despite the tension, Ash recovers the real documents and escapes the area without drawing attention. Later, he calls Dawson to confirm that the missing pages are secured and arranges a meeting between Sarah and Franklin, the CEO of Cybo Cementis. After the call, Dawson and his associate review the surveillance footage and manage to identify part of Ash's face. Meanwhile, Ash warns Sarah to follow his directions precisely, reminding her that any further mistakes will end their collaboration. The next day, Ash arrives at a restaurant arranged for the upcoming meeting between Sarah and Franklin. While waiting, he receives another voice message from Hoffman, who has uncovered a new crime committed by Optimo. The pills they produce are dangerously unsafe, and millions of people may already be affected. Hoffman admits his deep regret for protecting himself instead of exposing the truth sooner. The following morning, Ash attends his support group for recovering alcoholics, led by Wash, the police detective. During the session, Ash opens up about his guilt. He speaks about losing his faith and turning to alcohol to escape his problems. He also confesses that in the past, he discovered wrongdoing at his workplace and accepted money to keep it hidden, a decision that continues to trouble him.
So I took the money, I kept my mouth shut, poured it all down my throat. I still carry a lot of guilt and shame about that time. I don't want to end up like that. Thank you, Wash.
Later that day, Ash contacts Sarah with final instructions. He informs her that she will meet Franklin at 7 p.m. at the restaurant he has selected to return the stolen documents. He also notifies Franklin's operatives, Dawson and his team, and insists that Franklin must attend in person. That evening, Ash waits at a bar beside the restaurant, keeping watch. As time passes, neither Franklin nor Sarah appears. Concerned, Ash leaves for Sarah's apartment. Shortly after, Sarah calls him. She explains that Dawson has uncovered his true identity through facial recognition. His real name is James Kyton. Knowing Ash's life is now in danger, she says she has moved the meeting to a piano concert at the city hall. Ash immediately heads there. At the concert hall, Ash spots Sarah among the audience. Moments later, he notices Dawson and one of his associates nearby and suspects they are preparing to attack her. He tries to call Sarah, but she ignores the call to avoid drawing attention. Acting fast, Ash triggers the fire alarm, throwing the hall into chaos. Amid the evacuation, he reaches Sarah and manages to subdue Ryan before leading her out of the building. Sarah meets Ash in person for the first time. Moving through the crowded streets, they try to stay ahead of Dawson's team, who are following close behind in a taxi. Ash urges her to leave the city immediately and board a train. Before she departs, he admits his real name is Ashraf. Understanding the risk he took to protect her, Sarah begins to trust him and asks him to come along. He declines but follows discreetly to ensure she boards safely. After confirming her departure, Ashraf heads to a small restaurant for dinner. Before he can eat, his phone rings. It is Sarah. She has been captured by Dawson's team. Dawson delivers an ultimatum. Lead them to the hidden documents, and Sarah will be released unharmed. Conflicted and uncertain, Ashraf goes to a nearby bar to think. He contacts his friend Wash and quietly asks for help, then calls Dawson again to accept the deal. At dawn, Ashraf arrives at the meeting point. Dawson and his team are already waiting. As he approaches their vehicle, Ryan suddenly strikes him with a stun device, rendering him briefly unconscious. During the drive, Dawson threatens Sarah's life, forcing Ashraf to reveal the exact location of his warehouse. When they arrive, tension rises. A short struggle breaks out inside the car, and Ashraf manages to push Lee out onto the road. As chaos unfolds, Sarah seizes the stun device. Instead of defending Ashraf, she uses it against him, revealing her true allegiance. It becomes clear that Sarah has been the leader of Dawson's team all along. She was working for Optimo, sent to recover Hoffman's files. The entire Tybo Cementis case was fabricated to lure Ashraf into revealing the location of his hidden vault containing evidence of Optimo's crimes. Now under their control, Ashraf is forced to open the secured gate to his warehouse. Before entering the code, he demands to have his restraints removed. Once freed, he begins typing but intentionally enters the wrong sequence multiple times. The system triggers a smoke explosion, filling the area with thick haze. Using the confusion to his advantage, Ashraf runs into the warehouse. A chase erupts through the dimly lit warehouse. When the group splits, Ashraf ambushes Ryan, overpowers him, and takes his gun. He escapes through a side exit, but as he reaches the street, a passing car hits him, leaving him injured and disoriented. Barely able to move, Ashraf tries to stay ahead of Sarah and her team, who are closing in fast. His strength fades as Sarah catches up and corners him. She demands the vault code, threatening to shoot if he refuses. Ashraf drops his gun and stands firm, daring her to do it. Before she can act, Wash and his police unit arrive, surrounding the area. Sarah and her team are arrested, though Rosette manages to escape in the chaos. The truth then comes to light. The night before, Ashraf had contacted Wash and asked him to meet at the warehouse. There, he revealed the full story. That he possessed documents from Optimo proving their products caused severe health risks, and that the company was trying to recover the files to bury the evidence. Trusting no one else, Ashraf handed the documents to Wash for safekeeping. Days later, Ashraf collects a package containing the $500,000 that Optimo had sent as ransom. Instead of keeping it, he donates part of the money to the relay service as a gesture of gratitude for their assistance during his operations. In the final scene, Ashraf boards a train bound for another city, ready to begin a new chapter of his life. As he settles into his seat, he notices a passenger reading a newspaper. The front-page headline reports the exposure of Optimo's crimes, clear proof that Wash has released the documents to the public. So the moral of the story is don't trust anyone who sends you on a flight with cash and secret documents, especially if they also burn your car and call you from a relay app. Just quit that job and start farming mangoes instead.